Hello students, I hope you have come to watch this video after watching the introduction part which was in the previous video. Now we are talking here about the animal tissues. Now animal tissues we can see are divided into four types. There are four types of animal tissues. Number one, epithelium, muscular, connective and nervous. So we will be studying each one of them one by one. In this video, we'll be studying only about the epithelial tissues. Now you can see here that the epithelial tissues are again subdivided into squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, glandular one. So let's see one by one about the epithelial tissues. So here epithelial tissues, what we can see is that these tissues are a group of cells which has a special function of being the outer covering of our body, both internal and external. Okay, whatever external means what? Our skin, right? Internal means what? Various digestive organs are there in our body and several other organs which are present in our body. So the outer covering of those internal organs are by the epithelial tissues. These epithelial tissues, they have very less, or you can say the spaces between different cells are very less, you can say it in that way, or intercellular spaces. In other words, if you say intercellular spaces are absent or negligible. Okay, suppose you see our skin. If you see our skin, then you can see that we don't have very large pores, very tiny pores, so that we can sweat and release all those salt and toxic water from our body, right? Now suppose had there been these large pores in our skin, then we would have been attacked by microorganisms like bacteria, fungi very easily, right? But it doesn't happen because we don't have such pores in our skin, such large pores in our skin. So this epithelial tissue, they almost acts like a defense system for our entire body, and these epithelial tissue are present outside our body, which you can see in the form of our skin, and also the outer covering of inner organs. Suppose this is the kidney. Okay, so this kidney which is present inside our body, the tubes that are present, so in these tubes, the outer covering of these tubes will have these epithelial tissues. I hope it's clear till this much. You can see this picture also of an epithelial tissue where the spaces between two cells are almost negligible. Okay, now let's go and study about the division of the epithelial tissue. Number one division is the simple squamous epithelium. What is it? You can see that this is a thin layer of epithelium which is called the squamous epithelium. Thin layer. One single layer is there with each cell having one nucleus. These are what? Nucleus. Okay. So it's a single layer. Now this simple squamous epithelium, these tissues are present in the esophagus region, and also these are present in this inner lining of our mouth. Okay, this inner lining of our mouth, we have this simple squamous epithelium tissue. Now the simple squamous epithelium tissue has a subdivision which is called the stratified squamous epithelium. All right, now let's go and study about stratified. This is the subdivision of simple squamous epithelium. Stratified, the word strata means layer. You can see a picture here that it's the simple squamous epithelium tissue is a single layer of tissue, and stratified squamous epithelia has many layers like strata. Okay, these stratified epithelium tissues are basically found in our skin. This is the skin, you can see. Skin. What happens is that why do we have so many layers of epithelial tissue as an outer covering of our skin? See, suppose our skin would have been made of such thin single layer of epithelium tissue, then what would have happened is that we take bath every day, we will use soap, we will use various scrubber to scrub our body. So if this very thin layer, only a single layer of epithelium tissue would have been there on our skin, then due to scrubbing using soap, this thin layer would have worn out. Okay, we would not have existed. We could see our muscles very easily deep within the tissue that are present. That's why God has made us in such a way that our skin has such layers so that we can withstand wear and tear. Wear and tear on a daily basis. We use a soap, use a scrubber, nothing happens to our skin. It is same as it is. Okay, so that's why we have this stratified squamous epithelium on the skin. This you can see these layers. Okay, so this was a sub part of the squamous epithelium. Now let's go and study about the second type of epithelium tissue, which is called the cuboidal epithelium tissue. Cuboidal, the name itself says that it is cube shaped. You can see this picture. Can you see? This is cube shape, cube shape, cube. So these are cube shape. Now where will they be present? They are present, suppose this is the kidney and you have several tubes here, okay. So these cube shaped cuboidal epithelium tissue are present at the inner lining of the kidney. So tubes are what? They are like this, round cylindrical in shape. So you can see this round cylindrical shape. So this picture is about the kidney tubules. Okay, you can see this cuboidal epithelium tissue present here, cube shaped. Okay, also this cuboidal epithelium tissue are also present in this. Can you see this one? Wait, let me change the ink. This green color portion, this is the duct. Duct means what? Small pipe-like structure which are attached to several glands in our body, and these pipe-like structure carries chemical substances from one part of the body to the other part of the body. Okay, so this small tiny tube-like structure, these are called the ducts. They also have this cube-like structured tissues. Okay, now what you can see here is that these are the salivary ducts. Okay, salivary ducts. You can see that the cuboidal epithelium tissue are present at the kidney tubules, cube shaped, and also present in the ducts of the salivary gland. Talking of salivary gland, this is an extra information. Let me tell you, whenever we see pasta, pizza, chow mein, noodles, what else, chicken biryani, or several other dishes, okay, mutton curry. See, already I'm salivating. Okay, so whenever we see or even think of such food, oh, by the way, pani puri, yes, how can I forget pani puri, aloo chaat and all this thing. Whenever we think of all these food, etc., and when we see also, what happens is that we start to salivate. Salivate means what? Our mouth starts to form saliva and it becomes more wet inside our mouth. From where does this watery substance it comes in our mouth? Where from does it come? It comes from three types of glands. Types of glands. What are they? Number one is the parotid gland. This parotid gland are present near the ears. Okay. Number two is the submandibular gland. That is present at the lower jaw. Can you see? Lower jaw region. Okay, mandible region, lower jaw region. And number three is the sublingual gland. Okay, so this will be present just below the tongue. So these three glands together work together to make saliva in our mouth, and thus when we see such good food, or whenever we eat also food, this saliva helps to chew the food properly. Okay, so this was an extra information that the parotid gland is present near the ears, submandibular gland is present just below the chin at the lower mandible region, lower jaw region, and the sublingual gland is present below the tongue. Three glands, they work together to form saliva. Okay, this was an extra information. Now we go to the third type of epithelium tissue, that is the columnar epithelium. You see, columnar means pillar like column like structure. So this one you can see these are column like structure with one nucleus. Okay, so these column like structure of epithelium, they are present in the intestinal region. Okay, they are present in this inner lining of this intestinal region. You find this columnar epithelium tissue, which helps in absorption of food and other nutrients. Alright, now this columnar epithelium tissue, they have a subdivision in the name of ciliated columnar epithelium. What happens here is that, see, in columnar epithelium you have just column like structure, okay, but in ciliated you have column like structure, no doubt about that, but you have certain hairy like structures on the topmost region, and these are called as cilia. Okay, what is the role? You can see here these hairy like structures, and these are column like, right? So these are hairy like structures which are called as cilia. What is its role? Here also you see cilia. What is its role? See, these are present in this respiratory region so that the mucus that is formed here, it gets cleared out, it goes down. Like sometimes, isn't it, we have a tendency to do, I don't know whether you will be able to understand, you are not able to see me, but by the sound, like we do like that. Okay, we try to, what do I say, try to squeeze our nose from within, right? Try to suck in that mucus which is present in the present near our nose, and then we swallow it in this way. Maybe in the live classes, whenever I'll take, I'll show you. So that is what helps those mucus to clear our nose, etc., is due to the presence of this cilia, and this cilia is present in this columnar epithelial tissues. So ciliated columnar epithelial tissue is a subpart of the columnar epithelium 1. Okay, and the last type of epithelium tissue that we are going to study is about the glandular epithelium. Sometimes what happens is that certain, let me change the ink, certain epithelium tissue, see, this is the outer layer, suppose, so it should have been like this, straight, right? But sometimes certain epithelial tissues, they bend inwards in this way, in various shapes. Okay, this one, it should have been like this, but it has bent inwards, like this, bent inwards, like this, bent inwards, in all these various forms. So they are called the glandular epithelium tissue. They bend inwards, and these epithelium tissues, they form the outer covering of various glands like thyroid gland, which is present just at the throat region. Okay, what are glands? Glands are basically those organs which secretes some chemical substances. okay, and then these chemical substances are transferred from one part of the body to the other, which releases hormones, okay. So these are, suppose this is the kidney. On top of kidney there is one gland which is called the adrenal gland, and this gland is responsible for fight or flight mode. We will study about that later. So all sorts of glands that are present in our body, they have an outer covering in the form of glandular epithelium. So these were the subdivisions. Let us just study in brief. So we were talking of animal tissues. Under animal tissues, the first part is the epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue means what? They are the ones which forms the outer covering of both internal and external part of our body. These epithelial tissues are subdivided. First is the simple squamous epithelial tissue. Simple squamous epithelial tissue are found in the esophagus region. I'm writing it in short, okay. Inner lining of mouth, okay. Now this simple squamous epithelial tissue has a subdivision, This subdivision is called the stratified simple squamous epithelial tissue, right? This is our skin. So that it's stratified means it has several layers so that we can withstand the wear and tear on a daily basis, okay. This is the first division under epithelial, and this is the subdivision of simple squamous epithelium. Then the second is the cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium are present in the lining of the kidney tubules. Then comes your salivary gland ducts, okay, the small pipes. Then the third division is the columnar one, which is like columnar in shape, columnar epithelium. Where are columnar epithelium? Present in the inner lining of intestine, okay. And this columnar epithelium has a subdivision in the form of ciliated columnar epithelium tissue. Now that means they have cilia, that is hairy like structures are there on top of this column shaped epithelium tissue, and they are present in the respiratory tract to clear out the mucus from our nose, okay. And number 4 division, the fourth division is the glandular epithelial tissue. These form the outer covering of several glands in our body. Glandular epithelium, they fold inwards, and thus are called the glandular epithelium tissue. So I hope you all have understood about the animal tissues and their divisions and subdivisions. So students, please re-watch this video once again, and I will be definitely there in the live class to clear out your doubts, okay. Happy learning. Bye.